Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Spotlight. This is episode 29. Can you believe that we've been doing this for 29 weeks? I think we skipped a week somewhere along the line. But it's a pleasure to be here every Wednesday afternoon at 4 p.m. to help promote everything that we can, whether it is a new restaurant or a not so new restaurant with new dishes, whether it is a nonprofit organization with a fun event coming up, or someone that we may want to connect with, a service provider, a product provider. It is a pleasure to welcome you all to the Spotlight. Today we have two very exciting guests. One is joining us remotely, and that is the first guest that I'm going to introduce, and that would be our dear friend Lawrence Goodwin from El Rey Lounge in Versailles. Lawrence, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
How are things going in your world?
Things are busy.
Things are
Especially
busy.
with the two bars. They're very busy.
So what brings you to the Spotlight today? Tell me the good news.
So good news. We're doing I believe it's our third rendition. Maybe it's even number 4 of Saturday Drag Brunch on the 19th. So not this Saturday, but coming up a week from Saturday. We'll be doing regular hours for that, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And again, as most everyone knows by now, it's been hosted by Karma and also joining Karma again this weekend, not this weekend, but next, Angie Stahl. So we've got two entertainers, and we've got my lovely wife Brianna and myself working on the buffet lines. So we'll have some really nice kind of barbecue, backyard barbecue food like we had last time, smoked chicken wings, doing some sausages, lots of veggie trays, get an omelet stand. So really some nice going on for the food portion, what drinks. And we're doing a Dia de los Muertos theme. So the ladies will be outfitted that way. So I think it'll be a really good time.
Katrina Drag Queens, my favorite.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite part of having opened El Rey Lounge now that you've been in business for a few weeks?
Yeah, believe it or not, it's already been almost 3 months. You can believe it.
Wow.
It was the middle of June. I got going, and so the favorite part, I think, is just welcoming even more people to Versailles that maybe know about it yet or stayed in the zone mostly because of so many options for entertainment, bars, and nightlife. And Versailles is just kind of getting legs in that regard. Um, we're happy to be part of it. As you know, many of your listeners and viewers know, the office has been doing Tuesdays for a year. And now we're doing Thursdays at El Rey. So we're bringing 2 nights of specializing in getting really to the community and saying, hey, it's not just in DR anymore. It's not just in Old Town. You know, Versailles is starting to have events that are more marketed into the community, and so we're happy to be a part of that.
Well, I have been a frequent flyer at the Gay Thursday event at El Rey Lounge, and I love being there. Of course, Thursdays is also the evenings in which I do my music appreciation presentation. So sometimes I come out of those a little brain dead, but I will make it a point to try to save some brain cells for you guys tomorrow night. Now, do tell me briefly, because you changed your hours. Is this something that people want to know? Of course it is.
Sure. Well, thank you. Yes. So El Rey, we've kind of gotten it established. It's kind of gotten its vibe, and it's more of a late night crowd. So because it's more of a lounge, you know, where the office, more people hitting happy hour, and of course we have people stay, but with the size of the office, it only accommodates just so many. And so with El Rey, what we're doing right now is we're doing still the Wednesday through Saturday, but we've moved the opening time to 6 p.m. and we're staying open till 1 a.m. We are
Excellent.
also the
Oh my goodness. I think Lawrence may have a little glitch with his internet signal. Either that or he's about to take a long sneeze. Oh, there you are.
okay.
You were frozen in sneeze position.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's real flattering, I'm sure.
Anyhow, you were talking about hours.
So we've moved the hours at El Rey. Saturdays 6 to 1. We do a late night happy hour, and so we do 9 p.m. to 11, and then the office is 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 4 p.m. till midnight, and it's happy hours at 7. So basically, we've tried to capture a good chunk of your evening in Versailles with happy hours, starting at 4 p.m. and going all the way until basically 11 p.m.
Excellent. For those people that don't know, El Rey Lounge and The Office are two wonderful lounges. One of them is a lounge, and the other one is a bar, but they're two wonderful spaces in Colonia Versalles to enjoy classy cocktails in air-conditioned pleasure. And
Thank
I
you.
am showing your name and your Facebook page for El Rey Lounge at the bottom of the screen so that people can know how to connect with you. Are we missing anything, Lawrence?
I don't think so. There's always things going on. We try to do weekly drink specials, change it up. So anybody that's looking for something exciting and fun, check out our Facebook page, check us out on IG, and we always appreciate the opportunity to stop in and speak to you and the exposure to your awesome audience. Appreciate all the help, Senor Ojeda.
It's my pleasure. And again, if I don't end up brain dead tomorrow night, you'll probably see me sometime around 8 p.m. for Gay Thursday. Lawrence, it's a pleasure to see you. Say hi to Rihanna and your staff, and I will hopefully see you soon.
Thank you, my friend. Thanks again.
Thank you. And of course, that was Lawrence Goodwin from El Rey Lounge. And while we get all set up for my next guest, who's going to tell us everything about the International Friendship Club, how about we take a quick look at this?
This Thursday, we conclude our Mexican independence-inspired exploration of Mexican music with Mexico's Soulful Storytellers, where we will delve into the lives and legacies of 5 influential traditional songwriters: Agustín Lara, Consuelo Velázquez, Armando Manzanero, José Alfredo Jiménez, and Juan Gabriel. We will explore how each composer's life and surroundings shaped their timeless creations. You'll also hear iconic songs from each of these legendary composers, some of which are sure to be familiar to you. As always, the meeting is at 5 p.m. at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work. Celebrate Mexico's independence by celebrating our music. Celebrate with us. And be sure to follow our Facebook page for more details about these events.
My next guest is the president of the International Friendship Club here in Puerto Vallarta, and it is a pleasure for me to welcome Peggy Nelson to the Spotlight. Peggy, how are you doing?
Just great. Thank you, Paco. Thank you for having me and for bringing attention to the International Friendship Club.
This is our first in-person get-together. It was a pleasure to have you remotely earlier this year. I have so many questions, but it's so good to see you. Let's start with something that I like to ask everyone. Where are you from and how did you discover Puerto Vallarta?
Well, I live outside Chicago at the present time when I'm not in Puerto Vallarta, and I discovered it probably close to 20 years ago as a vacation spot when I was working, and I would love to just come down here for a week or two.
I'm going to remove your coffee. Everybody saw that, but I want to put your coffee out of the way. There you go.
I would love to come here for a week or two to just recuperate from working so hard. Love the beaches, love the mountains, and then I know of no place that has so many options for entertainment.
How did you get involved with the IFC, the International Friendship Club?
Well, originally, I became involved as a student because they offer Spanish classes 3 times a week at 4 different levels. So I started taking Spanish classes, and then I learned that they also offered lectures on Mexican history and other topics like Mexican religious history. And this year, there's going to be a series. These are usually a series of 4 or 5 classes. There's going to be a series on the new elections and the politics in Mexico. So I signed up for those and took the classes, and I just got to know the organization.
I think that's fascinating because this makes me think of how little I know about the International Friendship Club. And I wonder, for the people that are watching today, I wonder how much you think you know about the International Friendship Club. So let us play a little game, and we're gonna play a game together. To those of you that are watching, do me a favor and write in a comment what you think you know about the International Friendship Club. And if you know nothing about the International Friendship Club, feel free to write nothing. This is not a pass or fail, and this is not a shame-a-thon. It's just an awareness exercise of what people may or may not know about the International Friendship Club. And to you, Peggy, let me ask you, what are the common misconceptions that you get at the Friendship Club? Or maybe you can finish the sentence, oh, I didn't know the Friendship Club also did blank.
Yeah. So the Friendship Club started out 40 years ago. In 2025, we'll be celebrating our 40th anniversary. And it was founded in order to raise money for cleft palate surgeries in the Puerto Vallarta area. There's a lot of kids with this condition, and cleft lip as well. And then it evolved over time. 40 years later, I think it's a very different organization. It's been flexible and changed over time, but we do have a lot of members who've been around for 20, 25 years, and they've seen it change. I would say that some people might argue with me about this, but I think that one of the bigger changes that has occurred is the addition of new programming. So the social side of the organization raises the funds for the cleft palate clinics and also for other charitable organizations. And we've had, for example, bridge classes and bridge games for a long time. But we've added many new things that people are unaware of. And in this season in particular coming up, we're gonna have a whole bunch of new things.
Well, before we continue, I think this is fascinating because I was listening to you, but for better or worse, I'm always keeping an eye on what people are saying. And it's interesting to read, aside from the good afternoons that we get, there is our friend Alan Shepard says he knows nothing. Deb Danaher says she knows nothing. Kathy asks in question mark, the IFC helps people find places to volunteer. Beth, you're cheating because you're affiliated with the Friendship Club. This is Beth Tesler. It's good to see you, my friend. Beth writes, God bless you, Beth. I know it offers wonderful home tours and all fees go to charity. It is run by all volunteers, which I am one. Of course you are. It's great to see you, Beth, wherever you are. Our friend Jim says, I have taken their tours of homes on 2 occasions and I'm aware of the Spanish classes. Mark Jennings knows about the cleft palate, and his wife crochets for Bennu. So You know, we were talking before we started the broadcast of how we are all, and I mean we are all guilty of under promoting or sometimes taking for granted that people know what we're about. How do you feel about realizing that there are people out there that don't know much about the organization? This is not meant to make you feel, I'm not like, you know, bad people because, you know, how do you transform that into a challenge?
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely true that we've been underreported. That may grow out of being a all volunteer organization. We only have one part-time employee. But it's something that we've definitely identified as something we want to change, because we do offer a place for people who live or visit Puerto Vallarta to come and do all sorts of things that are fun or educational. And then they can also be involved in the charitable activities that we support. Because in addition to the cleft palate and cleft lip clinics that we do, we support about 20 other charities in Puerto Vallarta. So we need to get our name out there, and we'd love to have people become more involved.
So you are a charity organization that supports other charity organizations.
Correct.
How, if I am a charity organization, I'm like, well, the IFC could support me. What kind of process do these other organizations go through to become eligible?
We have two committees. One's for educational organizations, and the other is for social services organizations like children's homes and physical rehab, or BENU you mentioned, which is women who've had breast cancer who need prosthetics. Our sweet spot are that the organizations that we tend to support are the small to mid-size organizations that aren't set up with lots of funding. And we try to help them advance from being small to becoming more knowledgeable, sophisticated, doing more of their own fundraising, and so on and so forth. So on our website, which is ifcvallarta.org, we have an application that can be made online. We do some recruiting as well, and we are always trying to identify organizations that need our support. We start the process in January of interviewing them. We have committees with volunteers who become familiar, and in some cases very familiar. They actually go out and volunteer regularly in some of these organizations. And they take the applications, they go meet with the organizations, they evaluate them, we request financial information, how did they want to use the funding that we're going to give them. Sometimes we sponsor a specific program, like for the Vallarta Abuelos, we sponsor their fall backpack program where they get backpacks and fill them with pens and pencils and paper and things like that. Anyway, we get to know them. And then as a committee, we look at how much money we have that we can give out, and we sit together and decide what to do.
You sound like you're huge. Like how many people are getting all this work done?
Well, in home tours alone, which is one of our bigger fundraising programs, we offer home tours during the high season twice a week at 10 a.m. where people get on a bus and they can go see 3-4 villas, beautiful villas, private homes, sometimes business establishments, but mostly private homes. And that group alone has over 40 volunteers. And there's usually 3-4 people on the bus that accompany the guests. We fill a bus with 40 people and take them to these homes. And there's people who sit at the desk and sell tickets. It's a lot of work managing the logistics and getting the bus with a driver. They manage breakdowns. They've had to help with flat tires, and just jump in. whenever needed, but it's a large organization. And that's just one of the organizations that we have.
So it sounds to me like I'm hearing you operate in two big universes. And one is the one in which you're raising funds either for the programs that you run or to distribute among other smaller organizations. But then you're hinting at other activities that sound to me as though there are a lot of social options going on at the Friendship Club. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
So let's say that I am a person that is coming to Puerto Vallarta. I just found out about the Friendship Club and I'm like, well, I want to meet some friends or I have some money to give. What is the best course of action here? Is it to visit the website or to stop by in person?
I would say both. Our website is full of information, but we have a clubhouse. It's on Insurgentes, right next to Rio Quale at Guerrero. And every Friday during the high season, we have social hour from 4 to 6. And every Friday during the high season, we have dine-arounds where groups of about 20 people go as a group to different restaurants every week. You can go to 1, you can go to 10, you know. And this year, we're gonna start lunch-arounds for people who prefer the lunch hour. So that's a very quick and easy social avenue. But we also, you can take bridge classes and play bridge with people. That's also social. Mm-hmm. We have yoga and meditation classes and Tai Chi and drawing classes and dance classes. There's just a whole slew of things people can do. And through those activities, meet other people who are in the Vallarta area.
As the president of the organization, what do you see the biggest challenge is for the International Friendship Club moving forward?
Well, right now we're almost entirely volunteer run, except for our bus driver for home tours, and we have one administrator in the clubhouse. Everybody else is a volunteer. And people only have so much energy and so much time. So what we're trying to do now is to grow our membership so that we have more people involved who can help us do all these different things. This year we did a survey of our membership in June, and we asked them what kind of activities we're not doing that they want to do. Mm-hmm. And we got a list that was this long, and then we asked, would you be willing to support these activities with your time? You know, and for some activities, we got 1 or 2 people who are willing to do it, and so we can't do those because we can only do so much as there are people who are willing to support the activity. But for some other activities, we got more than 15 people who volunteered to do that activity. So we're definitely going ahead with that new activity. So what we can do, and it's also tied into the fundraising and how many pallet clinics we can support and how much funds we can give out. It's partly tied to membership and the number of people that are involved in the organization. I think the other challenge is becoming more visible, as we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there are 3 things that I would love to go back to now. I love it. First of all, membership. What does membership look like? When you say we're looking to have more members, you're looking to add more people to your mailing list, or you're looking to, is membership a paid option, or tell me about membership first.
Right. Right now, membership is 600 pesos per person.
Per month?
Per year.
Oh my goodness.
It's really unpriced, but
600 pesos a month
a year.
Per year. That is not a lot of money.
No.
And what does that get you?
Okay, so first of all, we have a program with what we call preferred merchants.
Yeah.
And these are preferred because they participate in our program. They're restaurants and dentists and other service organizations that will provide discounts to our members. That's one thing. Secondly, members will be invited to member-only events. We're going to be having this coming season membership appreciation nights at least once a month. But for other activities that we do, there's going to be a membership discount of 20 to 30% off of the cost of whatever activity we're doing. And it could be a evening sail on a sailboat or a wine tasting. We're doing many different things, all either currently on the website or going to be on the website in the next month or two. People can look at that and see what they're interested in doing.
600 pesos a year. I am blown away because that is extremely affordable.
Yeah.
Are you guys listening out there? This is really affordable, and it's a great way to help. If I wanted to become a member, where would I take care of business? Is this on the website, or do I go in person?
Go to ifcvallarta.org.
Which is scrolling, which
Yeah.
is a
Oh,
good
great.
thing. Yes.
People can always stop in the clubhouse. We're on limited summer hours right now, Monday through Wednesday, but during the high season, we're open 5 days a week from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. and often later.
Can you give me just to make it sexy?
Okay.
We want to go sexy here. Can you give me an approximation of how many businesses are participating in this discount adventure? Like if we become a member, we can receive discounts in how many businesses approximately?
I believe the woman who heads that program, Karen Earp, told me yesterday that there were 80 some right now.
Oh, I was about to say the F word.
We're about to go back and renew them for the next year, and we'll be looking to add other establishments as well.
That is wonderful. How do you, just in case there's a business out there that wants to support the IFC, how would a business go about joining this perk program?
Okay. It's on our website. It's called the Preferred Merchants Program, and they can go to ifcvallarta.org, and there will be a place where they can fill out an application and send it in. One thing we're hoping to do this year is to deepen our relationships with our business partners and see more how we can make it a two-way street where we're helping them and they're helping us.
That is wonderful. I've seen at least 2 messages or 2 comments from a dear friend of mine and a community partner in Coffee and Headlines. This is from our friend Michael Buford. We are excited to host the dinner tomorrow at Siam Los Tules for all the doctors that are here. And then Michael says later on, the membership is awesome. There are so many restaurants and businesses that offer discounts that the 600 pesos is paid back in just a few visits. This is absolutely fantastic. Now, tell me what 600 pesos, if you can, what happens to 600 pesos in your budget? What can 600 pesos accomplish for the organization?
Yeah. We use the membership fees basically to fund the cost of operating a clubhouse.
Gotcha.
And then the money that we earn from our home tours, our classes, we have a raffle in February on Valentine's Day. That goes to funding the cleft palate clinics and to the other charities that we support. We give almost all of it away. By the way, I don't know if we mentioned that we were in the middle of having a cleft palate clinic right now. The first day started today, and Michael Buford, who you mentioned, has repeatedly supported the program by making dinner for the medical crew that we bring in from Guadalajara. It can be like 12, 15 people, but Michael is always supporting us.
This is wonderful. I'd like to tackle something else that you mentioned earlier which is the survey. And I'm a big survey fan, and to the point that I found out about the survey you were doing back, it was June, right? And I promoted it on Coffee and Headlines because I think surveys are an amazing tool and a very underutilized tool, not only for nonprofits in town, but for businesses, to actually step out of the comfort zone and find out what people want and get a sense as to what can be balanced into the mix or the tapestry of offerings that you have. What was the most unexpected discovery you had from running that survey?
That's a really good question. I guess in part that first of all, we were trying to get to know our membership better. So we saw the diversity of where people were coming from and the different neighborhoods that they lived in, and actually, it didn't go far from what our expectations were. We're heavily focused on the romantic zone. We're trying to expand out. This year, we're going to do a table at the Thursday night market in Marina to try to reach out to a larger audience. But I guess it was the degree to which people were happy to step up and support programs that they wanted. So when people said, I'd like to have a book group, for example, which we're going to do this year, we've never done before, they also stood up and said, I will help run it. And we really need that in order to be able to do the programs.
You mentioned something that is fascinating to me, and this has to do with outreach in areas that are not our own. Guilty as charged, living near Costco and La Comer, near Versailles and all that stuff, I've become increasingly less enthusiastic about going far away from my day-to-day environs. What does that behavior play like for the IFC? Do you have a mostly Emiliano Zapata Centro-based group of members, or are people coming to get involved from faraway places?
We're mostly, I would say, in Puerto Vallarta and not outside, not past the airport very much, into Nuevo Vallarta or otherwise. But definitely the central core is Conchas Chinas, Romantic Zone, Centro, and Cinco de Diciembre. But for example, there's several people who are involved who are in the Marina. The woman who runs our events program is in the Marina, but she's got a car, so she's in her car and going around town setting up different functions all the time. Her energy is amazing.
Well, I bet it would be an interesting exercise. It occurs to me all of a sudden that if you do all your diner rounds in this neighborhood,
Yes.
then you're probably going to end up getting a lot of people from this neighborhood. But if you venture to other neighborhoods, then that might be an interesting experiment in outreach.
Yes, that's true. We have maybe, if you look at our list, and our list of preferred merchants is on our website, we have 5 or 6 in the Marina, 5 or 6 in Versailles, 5 or 6 here and there. But you're right, the probably half of them are in the central area. And so when we restart our program next month and go back out to merchants, we're going to be adding in areas where we aren't currently.
Oh my goodness. Ooh. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Michael Beaufort says, I would love to buy 20 memberships. With those 20 memberships, you can use as giveaways to both shows.
Oh my
That
gosh.
way, it is a win-win for everyone. Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, Michael, first of all, you are amazing. You are absolutely amazing. I am going to think of the most effective way to implement this. And maybe we can work on this together, Peggy, because I mean, the reality of the spotlight is that we still get a very small live audience. It's my little baby, you know. So I'm trying to think of ways in which, oh, I have an answer. I have an answer. And I'm gonna propose this, because here's the thing, Michael, and here's the thing, Peggy. If we did 20 membership giveaways right now, that's less than the number of people that are watching live. And so it would not work. But let me propose, if that's okay, I am going to do a members only broadcast for my 250 or so subscribers at Coffee and Headlines. And I'm going to get many more people in that broadcast because I'm going to have the opportunity to let them know, hey, we're going to give away these things. Can we do it that way?
I would love that.
Okay.
That would be great for the IFC.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
So we're not going to do it here only because, for better or worse, we don't get a lot of people yet. But yes, thank you very much, Michael. That is just so generous. What I will do is, and you know what? I might even do that special broadcast from here in case somebody else wants to join or something like that. But Michael says, Peggy, I will have it organized tomorrow with April. Paco, it's in your hands now. This is so awesome.
Yeah, but how wonderful that you brought this together.
This is so wonderful. And this brings me to the other thing that I was thinking about earlier. How can I help? And when I say I mean, how can Coffee and Headlines help? Here's the way that answer looks like from my end. Because you're doing all kinds of chingaderas, and I mean chingaderas in a loving way, not in a bad Spanish way. You're doing all kinds of things, and people don't know about them. It's very easy for me to look at Facebook events, like the Facebook events calendar,
yes,
and look at what's going on there. So you have my commitment that if I see something from the IFC, I will always mention it. But if there's something going on, do you have the manpower to create events and all that stuff on your end?
Well, we have a Facebook page,
Okay.
and we do post our events on the Facebook page. And then on our website, we have a calendar, and that shows everything that we're doing. It's very comprehensive, from small to big. Mm-hmm. But yes, I can direct our events to you.
I would appreciate a nudge.
Yeah,
I
that'd
would
be
appreciate
wonderful.
a nudge. And I'm going to tell you why. It would be easy for me to go look at your calendar of events, but the reality of Puerto Vallarta, for better or worse, until there is a centralized source of events of all kinds, I haven't seen one. I haven't seen one. I think Marcia Blonding is trying to give it a go. It's a holy grail, and I don't know how it's doing. Facebook, for me, is a great source of information as a connector.
Yes.
Because there are events in English, in Spanish, that are happening soon, that are happening not so soon, that are happening all the time, which is what makes my work easier. So if you're able to share those events with me in case you think I missed one, or someone from your staff, just nudge me.
I will do it every week.
You know, and you or someone from the IFC is always welcome to come back. This is not a single invitation. Our dear friend Carmen Porras, Carmen, hola, from Oculto, she has the record in being the most repeated guest here at the Spotlight. But you know, she brings something wonderful to the table every single time. How else can we help?
Well, I think the publicity is a great help. And I don't know if, people listening to your program are able to do this, but if there are people who are listening who can contribute something for one of our silent auctions or one of our raffles, if they're, if they're a restaurant or a jeweler or anything that can be given away, that would be very helpful to have those items, because many times the events that we have do a little bit better than break even, but the reason that we are able to raise funds for the charitable work that we do is because of the silent auctions and the items that people donate for us to put out at silent auctions.
Wow.
And I see a lot of items at different things like bingo around town. All the types of things that are given away at different bingo games are the kinds of things that we would want to have as well.
When is your next opportunity? Oh, Liz says something that is really important. Advance notice of events is important. So often Facebook has after the fact info, but misses the opportunity to promote events. Here's a pet peeve of mine, and I'm not saying you guys do this. I see a lot of people promoting their events in their own Facebook page, which is great for people that are already following that page, but doesn't do as much for people that have yet to discover the page, which is why creating these events is absolutely essential.
Yeah. We do post on 8 other Facebook pages.
Oh, good.
Trish Lyman's Facebook page is one of them, but we're on Gay Vallarta. We're also now, this year, going to advertise in the Gay Vallarta Guide, as well as being on Marsha Blondin's Vallarta calendar. Mm-hmm. But still, I remember being in the position myself of coming here new and wanting to find out what is there to do in town.
Yes.
And we used to have the Vallarta Mirror in paper, and everybody looked for that every Friday, and now it's online. Some people won't go online, so people have to piecemeal it together, and you just do your best to find out everything that you can about what's going on. And there's so much going on.
Absolutely. And that's one of the beautiful things about Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
But again, it's very frustrating, as Liz mentions, when you find out about something and it already happened.
I've had that experience.
It is kind of frustrating. Let me encourage everyone or anyone that is watching right now to ask any questions you have to Peggy about the International Friendship Club. And while you're thinking about your questions, let me ask you, is there anything that we haven't touched base? I know you brought notes, and I want to make sure that you have plenty of opportunity to talk about everything you wanted to talk about.
Well, one thing you asked about was, what could people who are listening do? And one thing I didn't mention is being available to volunteer for things. If you have a skill, we can probably use it. People who like writing, we're looking for people who will write copy for newsletter, for magazine articles, for flyers that we do. We're looking for somebody who would help us make a video about the Friendship Club. And we need people who will sit at a table and sell tickets. So it really runs the gamut. We'd love people to join us at home tours. And our home tours this season start on November 19th. They leave sharply at 10 a.m. from Sea Monkey. Buy your tickets in advance on our website. And then after the first of the year, they'll be twice a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, also at 10, until the end of March. So it'd be great if you checked out a home tour. They're really fun. And the people who lead them, who are docents and guides, they're a blast to be with on the buses. And if you haven't participated in the Friendship Club previously, take a class. There's something there for everyone. And get to know us and see what you like. That's what I would say.
You mentioned that your open house for this upcoming winter season is going to be in December, you said?
It'll be the first week of December. We don't have the date buttoned down yet, but it will probably be the 1st or the 6th, to be determined, but it'll be on our website and on our calendar, and we'll post it on Facebook as well. It's going to be in our clubhouse this year. Last year it was at Arte Museo Vallarta,
Okay.
which is a beautiful venue, outdoor courtyard. I'm sure a lot of people have been there. But we've spent a lot of time and effort this summer to renovate the inside of the clubhouse. I just saw it today for the first time, and it's really lovely. So we want to make it a home for people where people feel they can come and take a class or get together for social hour on Fridays. Check us out.
Excellent. Well, let me show you, while we think of anything that we may have missed, I want to do our weekly giveaway, because we are broadcasting from Café Rio here at the Joint Boutique Hotel. And Café Rio has a lovely coffee and muffin combo to give away this week. And I want to show you how the giveaway works. And in order to be able to do that, what we need to do is let people know what the magic word is. And the magic word for today is coffee. If you wish to win a 50 peso coffee and muffin combo to enjoy here at the cafe, then all you have to do is write the word coffee, and we will run our little giveaway in just a second. And while we're gathering coffees, what are we missing?
One new program we're going to have this year for people is called Orientation to Puerto Vallarta. Because the clubhouse often will have people who come in off the street thinking that we're the friendship club, so we can help them with just about anything. How do I register my car? What do I do if I get a traffic ticket? You know, really pragmatic questions. And our front desk helps as much as they can. But we have a member, Madeline Milne. I don't know if you're familiar with her. She wrote the Moon Guide to Vallarta.
Yes.
She's going to be offering orientation to Puerto Vallarta every Monday, 3 weeks out of 4 in a month. And in this way, we feel like we have a good balance because we have things to offer to people who are actually existing members and programming for them. But this is an avenue to help people who aren't necessarily here for a long time, who are here for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But I'm sure a lot of the material that will be in the program will be great for people who live here too. And there'll be a big Q&A. People can raise their hand and just say, you know, I need to learn about where to find a good dentist, or where can I find a good loaf of bread? Any question they want to ask about Puerto Vallarta. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. I look forward to hearing more about that, because that's right up the coffee and headlines alley. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had a chance to have people write the word coffee. Let me bring that back on the stage. And let's see, we have 6 people that are interested in winning coffee. So this is how we're going to do your membership giveaways. We're going to come up with a magic word, and now we're going to draw a winner. And the winner for today is, drum roll, Jim Loth. Oh, Jim, I never know if I'm pronouncing your last name correctly, but Jim is a dear friend of mine. He lives in Versalles, and he comes to my music appreciation presentations. Jim, you just won a coffee and a muffin courtesy of Café Rio. I'll make sure that I provide your name so that you can cash it in whenever you're back in town. And I I have another bit of important news. You're going to appreciate this, Peggy. This comes from Michael Beaufort, who says, my brother who just messaged me would like to buy 10 more friend memberships. He was born with a cleft, so people can get out there and experience what the IFC does. My God, Paco, you have a lot of work to do. Well, you know, this is work that I'm happy to do.
That's amazing.
This is amazing. So everybody knows now that I have a new mission, and that mission is to organize a live broadcast so that people can win 30 memberships for the Friendship Club. I won't be eligible, but I sure wouldn't mind one, because if you're getting all these discounts to all these wonderful places, what a great deal. So it'll be my pleasure to make this happen. My first stop, of course, will be at your website so that I can find out exactly what it is and who these businesses are, so that I can make noise. And Dale says, have an IFC membership draw now. That's sneaky, but I'm happy to. Do you want to do an IFC membership draw now?
Sure, let's do
it. We
it.
can certainly do this. Okay, so we're going to do an IFC membership draw, just one, because then my brain, I need to keep track of these things. And this is going to, well, first of all, let me make a screenshot of the fact that Jim won his membership. There you go. Give me just 1 second, everyone, because I want to make sure that I save this for posterity. Anyone that writes the word or the letters IFC together is going to be eligible for one membership to the IFC Club. We're going to do this giveaway right now, and I'm going to hold on just a second. Let me set this up. We're going to do this, and I said that the magic word is IFC, and we're going to start collecting comments right now. This is so much fun. I'm going to do this for a little while. Oh, and Carmen has just walked in. Thank you very much, Carmen Porras. Just to let you know, I will be at the Spotlight with Paco next week to let you know all about Salsa Master Cooking Class and Dia de Muertos dinner coming up at Oculto by El Arrayan. I look forward to that. Well, I always look forward to having conversations with my dear friend Carmen. Have you been to Oculto yet?
I have not.
Oh my goodness, it is such a great opportunity.
Well, that's what this program is so good about, is you can learn about things like that.
We certainly love to connect with anybody and everybody that is doing interesting things. So look at this. We have a bunch of people that want, Linda is already a member, so Linda, you cannot apply. Okay, let's see how many people do we have now. Oh, we have 8 people that want to get in on a membership. So I think it is time to make this happen. Are we ready?
Ready?
Let's do this.
Go for it.
Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Mark Jennings. Mark Jennings is the winner of an IFC membership. And I see that Peggy is writing this down. And of course, I am writing this down. And that means that we now have 29 more memberships to give.
That is very exciting.
How long are you going to be in town?
Right now, I'm here until Saturday, and then I'm coming back in the beginning of December for our opening reception.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll make sure that when we do this, it is at a time in which you can join us remotely from wherever you are.
Fantastic.
Because I think people will enjoy seeing your beautiful face and seeing this come to fruition.
I'll be one of them.
There you go. There you go. So I think this is our broadcast for today. Anything else?
Just want to thank you, Paco, and thank you, Mr. Buford, and brother, and everyone else for listening.
And oh my God, Beth, you can't do that. Beth says, I would like to gift a membership to you, Paco. I'll contact you. Well, Beth, that's really sweet, but I'm blushing like a schoolgirl now. I could get my own membership. I could get my own membership. Peggy, it is such a pleasure to connect with you. And please do not let it be the last time.
Thank you.
You know, you are always welcome. And if not you, somebody else from the IFC, you guys have been here for a long, long time. And if, I mean, I've only been here for 22 years, but if one could well, I mean, you guys have been very busy.
Yeah.
And I wish we could all see all the good you and the organization have brought to Puerto Vallarta over all these decades.
Yeah, a lot of dedicated people.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Please spread the word about the Spotlight. We're still a little baby. We still don't get a lot of people watching live, but when we pre-announce that we're going to have all these memberships to give away, I am sure many more people will join us live just for the opportunity. Thank you so much. And for everyone watching, I will be with you tomorrow morning for Coffee and Headlines as usual. And if not, a week from today, back here for the Spotlight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.